Hey guys, it's Brooke here, and today I want to talk to you guys about sex magic and sexual energy and how these magicians and these occultists use it in their practices, in their ritual practice, and what to watch out for when it comes to sexual energy, because throat was dry, sorry. The thing about sexual magic is there's a lot of things going on with that, so let's get into it. And you know what, guys, like, I'm just gonna talk to you guys like I'm talking to a friend, so I'm sorry if I'm not conventional and PC about everything. I just keep it real. The thing about sex magic is well, let me just first explain. I'm just gonna talk about the basic stuff, and possibly in another video I'll get into the more heavy stuff, but I'll just cover the basic stuff. Now, basically, sexual energy is the creation energy. Excuse me. This weather is killing me, man. Like, this weather is like, I'm still in the blizzard. And it's pretty bad outside, and I've been chilling in the house, and I made my last video. I'm trying to get all my videos done because I have a lot of things I want to talk about. But let's get back to the sexual energy. Sexual energy is creation energy, and it's the energy that's used to create things in this reality and in other realities and throughout the universe. So it's nothing to be ashamed of. You know, the problem with our matrix or our world that we're living in is sex is highly misunderstood, especially if a woman wants to express herself sexually or wants to take charge sexually in a respectful manner. That women on this planet in this twisted reality are seen as people who are supposed to not talk about that stuff, and men, it's okay for them to be sexually free because they're a man. And I think that's ridiculous. I think we need more women to come out and talk about the truth, the positive truth about sex, not the raunchiness and the porn and the distastefulness on TV. I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about we really need to get really educated about sex and what it means, body, mind, and soul, not just the romp fest, okay? We all know what the romp fest is. We've all seen porn before. We all have seen horrible stuff on TV with depicting rape and sexual exploitation. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the real sexual creation energy of the universe. How everything in the universe came to be by the sexual creation energy. Now I want to get into the spiritual stuff. I'm not going to go too deep because I want to save that for another video, because I really want to do a thorough conversation about that. Right now I just kind of want to just scratch the surface a little bit. So I don't feel like going in too deep right now because I'm not prepared for that. I like to write things down and really maybe show some pictures and stuff like that. Like, I gotta put more into my videos. That's how I like to do things. But just for some chit chat, I just want to clarify some things that people are misunderstanding about sex. First of all, sex is how we all got here. There's a lot of religions out there that shame people and put people down because they have these physical sexual feelings. And sexual feelings is not just on a physical level, it's also on a spiritual level as well. These religions are suppressing people, telling people that if you have sex before marriage, if you think about sucking someone's dick or something, that you're going to hell and you're a whore, or if you're a man, you're a pervert. And yes, there are perverts and there are women that are promiscuous out here, and I get that, but I think we are getting the point of sex really misunderstood. If you do it the right way with someone you love or someone you care about, even if it's someone that you're close to, you can create a very powerful force. And there's also some negative drawbacks to sex. Like, for one, it can be very addictive because of the chemicals that are released during the sexual process, and it's a soul process as well. But just speaking on the terms of the physical, There's a lot of different chemicals. I forgot the chemicals. It's oxytocin or something. It's oxytocin, serotonin, dopamine, something, and a rush of blood and adrenaline. It's just you're getting high off your own supply, pretty much, if you really want to keep it real. But that's why people get addicted to sex and things like that. Things that stimulate that dopamine, the serotonin, constantly. And the sexual energy is one of the most powerful feelings that you can feel physically, unless you're taking drugs, because drugs jack your system, and they hack your system, and they take you even further. That's why it's dangerous to mess with that kind of stuff. But anyway, let me get back to the point. We need to properly educate folks about sex, and I think more women should step up and talk about it in an educational manner, not on some slutty horseshit manner. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about talk about the creation energy, the energy that is used to create and birth ideas and thoughts and humans and other creatures into this world that we're living in. And let's get to it. So why do these occultists use sex magic? And I'll explain why here. The occultists believe most of them follow Aleister Crowley. I just started really looking into his work, not because I'm demonic or anything. I just have to put that out there, because a lot of people think that I'm demonic or I'm working with demons, but I do study the occult because I need to protect my ass. Like, I need to protect my ass against the forces of evil, and they're using magic on us every day, and I want to have protection around me so I know what I'm dealing with, okay? The occult is not evil. I just want to make that clear. In African spirituality, like, I just studied my African roots. African spirituality they were the ones who started the occult and started the science of meditation and getting connected to the Most High and all this stuff. So, but the thing is, with the elitists, they took the occult sciences that were positive and for education and information to understand the universe around us. They took that and made it really, really fucked up. That's the best way I could describe it. They took that beautiful science and they really fucked it up. So what the elites are doing, they're following the teachings of Aleister Crowley mostly, and other magicians. I think he was a black magician. I'm not sure if it was dark magician, black magician. When I hear the word black magician, I'd be like thinking, I'm a black magician. I'm a black person who's into magic and the occult and spiritual stuff. But the way they turn the word around is black meaning dark, meaning evil. Like, no. But let me just say what it is. He's a dark occultist, magician. He studied Kemet and all these things, so he knows what he's doing. Like, I looked at his work. He knows what he's doing, but he's a sick motherfucker. That's all I gotta say. He's sick. He's a pervert and he's sick. But besides that, his works, his art, and all that stuff, like, I respect it. But he's a sick motherfucker. But these occultists practice Aleister Crowley's teachings, and they believe that the fluids, the blood and the semen, and the vaginal fluids, the menstrual blood and the semen, and the orgasm, that they can take this and drink it. They drink it because first of all, they put it in a dish, because this is the creation energy, the male, masculine aspect, and the feminine aspect put into a dish as the form of the creation energy. And they took that energy and they drink it, and then they put their thoughts, they direct their thoughts into this substance, which is highly disgusting in my mind, but there's a science behind this. The menstrual blood, the sperm, and other fluids, I can't remember the other ones, maybe saliva, I don't know, and the orgasm, which is important, that's the energy. So they got the magnetic feminine energy and the electrical male energy, they put it in together. That's the creation energy, which is in the cup or whatever they use, a ceremonial cup, and then they drink it. They pass it around, they drink it, and then they impose their thoughts on this chemical mixture, this is the mixture of life, they impose their thoughts on that so they can birth what they want into their reality. I don't know if I said that right. I really don't. Because sometimes I talk and I don't make no sense. But this is the best way I can describe it. So they believe by drinking these things that they can birth in, let's say they want to birth in some demons. They might do that if they want to birth in some ideas. Like, let's say I want to manipulate and control this reality beyond the matrix. Because the matrix is so... It's so imposed on us. It's hard to break it. So they're trying to find spiritual ways to break through this reality and all kinds of stuff. So also there's other sex rituals. There are rituals where at the point of orgasm they would slash somebody's neck for the blood, or the blood. They want the blood during the orgasm because it's something to do with the fluid. Now this also goes back to the reptilians and the adrenochrome as well. And what is adrenochrome? Adrenochrome is a substance that's in the blood, in the adrenal gland, that when you are really terrified and scared, you get, when you feel scared, you feel like there's butterflies in your stomach and your body's producing this adrenaline. And what they do is, at the time that the adrenaline's coming out during fear, they cut that out and they drain it with a syringe or whatever, and then they kill a person and they get high off it. Like they drink it, they smoke it or whatever. They also sell adrenochrome on the black market. So it's the same thing. It's in the body fluids, the chemicals. They're using these things in their rituals and their magic. And I think some of this is very, very disgusting, but we have to understand our opponents. We have to understand what they do. Like, why are you drinking the menstrual blood? Why are you doing this? I want to know why, so I can defend myself against this shit. Okay? So our bodies produce chemicals that connect to higher spiritual planes. And going back to the creation energy, menstrual blood is really important to a lot of magic people who practice magic, because it's a sacred thing. Like, it's the woman is in tune to, they say, this is what they say, the woman's in tune to the nature and the planet, and just as the planet goes through seasons, women do too. So at the time the menstrual blood comes out, women have more powerful, vivid dreams. Like, women are psychic by nature. We're more in tune to nature because we have the mother creative energy, the feminine principle, and the men have the electrical energy, the action, the force, the fire, so the men have that kind of energy, and when you put them together, you create the child, which is the idea and the focused conscious thought. Alright, so there's lots of different sex rituals that are going on, especially in the porn industry. They're everywhere. These people, they do rituals all day, every day. Ritual is so important to them, and they try to get people unwillingly to do ritual. So, here's a ritual that everyone does that they don't realize is a ritual. When you get fucked up, like when you drink, and you get fucked up and you listen to music, put some wine on, put some candles on, and you get laid, that's a ritual. And if you don't know what you're doing, that's a ritual anyway. And if you are a magician and you know what you're doing, that what you're doing is a ritual, then you use it accordingly. But a lot of people don't even know. And Christians are running around here telling us, we're not like that. We don't practice magic. This whole planet is a ritual every day. This whole planet is a stage for rituals. And the more we're getting into 2018, they're doing rituals openly, like they're not even hiding it anymore. And they're trying to get people to do rituals. Why? Because most of them, the elitists, want to invoke demons. They want to bring demons and dark forces into the world. But some people do rituals because they want healing. There's sexual healing magic where you can use sexual energy to heal somebody. Okay, you could do that. You could use it to, cause see, it's a very complicated thing, the orgasm. See, I studied orgasms for a long time to understand, like, why does this make this feel so like this? Like, why does everyone chase this feeling? Like, Why is it one of the most important things to somebody in their life is to have that release and that orgasm? And it's they say that orgasms are like, if it feels like the God energy, the creation energy, and that's what that's about. And when you actually have an orgasm, I'm going to explain this as in the spiritual sense, because when I meditated, and I know, guys, I know this sounds like, oh, you're so nasty and blah, blah, blah. No, I'm not doing this to sound nasty. I'm just trying to understand the nature of reality. I studied this when I meditated. What happens during orgasm is, like, when you orgasm, you have this, it's a mixture of blood and bodily fluids, and there's waves of energy coming out of this part of your body, male or female, whatever. I can't speak on males because I'm not a man, but I just explain as far as being a woman. It's like a it's a burst of energy. It's a burst of waves. The waves look kind of like rainbowish because I'm in the physical body, so I can't tell you all the colors that are there. There are probably more colors, but it's bursting waves of light and rainbow colors coming from this area, like very, very powerful. This is why these occultists use this magic, because it's very, very powerful and it does work. So that's just my 2 cents on that. I mean, I can go deeper, but people are like, oh, you're so nasty and blah, blah. You know how people are so immature? Like, I'm not trying to say this stuff to be, cool or whatever. I just want to understand the reality. And I think that there are people that really want to understand, why is sex, like, people die to get laid. People kill to get laid. Like, this is the creation energy. And do you guys hear this wind? It's like crazy outside. I also want, before I end this video, because I don't want it to be too long, because I have to put it on my computer and edit and all this stuff. I sound so lazy. I sound so lazy. Alright. But, I'm going to briefly just go over and recap the negative parts of the sexual energy and the positive. So I'll briefly go through the negative. You can take the sexual energy and birth in demons, dark forces, the reptilians and the demons, and there are lots of entities that when you have orgasm and you're having sex with someone that they don't love you and they don't have great intentions for you, you could bring in, the portal opens up. Because when you have sex, 2 energies are supposed to connect. Okay, let me make sure I'm not doing the Illuminati triangle, because I don't want people to think I'm in like doing the triangle shit. I'm like, yo, no, hell no. I'm not part of that shit. Even if they ask me, I'd be like, hell no. I'm not about that life, that blood sacrifice shit. I'm not about that life. When you have sex, you connect energies. If someone doesn't like you and they're just fucking you because they're just horny, there's no connection made. Usually the female loses out on that deal. The feminine energy, which is a magnetic energy, pulls in. But if a man fucks you and they don't give a crap about you, the energy transfer is not complete. And usually, if he has dark intentions, they go into the woman, and then the woman, through the waters of her pussy, create the portal for the, and then it becomes visible, like light. It's like a vortex with light around it, and then these beings see this vortex, and then they can come through that person, because you can have improper sex. Like, that's why they say it's not good to have sex with anybody, because these days you don't know what the hell you're dealing with. I mean, you could be having sex with a reptilian, you could be having sex with a clone, you could be having sex with a demonic, a person who's just really fucked up inside, and all that connects to you, and it takes a long time to get that out of your system. Then you create these portals for the dark forces to come in. So that's kind of like the negative aspect. But the feminine vagina or pussy or whatever is a portal, is a gate, and things come out of that gate. And if you put things in your body that want to cause you harm and destruction, that's what's going to come out of that gate, or that's what's going to try to get into that gate. So you have to be very, very careful And with men on their end, I'm not a man, so I can't speak on everything, but I'm just going to give my theories. With men, if you put your you-know-what into somebody that is really fucked up inside, that energy is going to come, first is going to attach to your dick or whatever, and then it's going to go into your body, and it's going to mess up your electromagnetic energy, or your electrical energy, and you're going to... Usually what happens is, with the man, the woman could drain your essence, your life force essence, if she's just using you for, like, sometimes in certain situations, a woman might use you for your money, or they don't like you, they just want to have sex with you. The magnetic energy of that woman and her darkness will drain you. It's light, it's translucent light. It will drain you of the sperm translucent light, and you start losing your essence as a man. And you start to get depressed and sad, and you start obsessing about this woman because she's draining you of your essence. That's the best way I could explain that situation. There's a lot of people that use their vagina and their dick for nefarious purposes, and that's why I'm talking about this in this video, because we gotta be... I mean, I know people are probably laughing at me like, what the fuck is this bitch talking about? Like, but we have to be on point, because this is a spiritual war. It's not just physical, you know. There are people out there that are not human, and there are people that are human, but they don't have great intentions, and you have to be careful. Let me talk about the positive of the sexual. If you actually run into somebody that has great intentions for you, and you guys can transfer energy and love each other and have great passionate intimacy and stuff like that, then that is actually, you will heal yourself. You heal yourself, you feel better, you feel love in your heart, you know. It's a powerful energy. It really is. And it can do really great things, and it can do really horrible things. But when you actually have sex with someone you love, you connect to another soul being, you actually connect to somebody, and you actually feel someone else's energy and their essence, and you tap into who they are, and they tap into who you are. And people don't even know this gets this deep. They just think, I just bust a nut. That's not that. See, that's those types of people that think that way. They're getting used, and their energy's being taken. Because you got to get right spiritually. You really do, and you have to get around the right people and do it right. Not everybody in your life you meet is going to be the one, but if you're going to share a sexual experience, just make sure it's meaningful in some way, and that both parties are transferring energy. The way sexual energy is supposed to work is the way that the earth works with the magnetic field around the earth. It's supposed to go up and in on itself. And sometimes when two people get together and they have superficial intentions, one energy's going one way and there's nothing coming out the other way, and that's why people get depressed and they start crying after sex, because there was no transfer completed. So that's what I have to say about that. I mean, I know this stuff sounds funny when you're talking about sex, like, oh my god, everyone starts laughing, but it's a very serious thing. People die out here because of pussy, and people die out here because of dick. It's the truth. People get messed up in the mind, body, and soul because of this shit. So I'm not saying be a prude, and I'm not saying being Amish and wait and never have sex in your whole life. Like, that's actually not good either. And I'm going to just explain that real quick too before we get off this video. Those of you who don't ever have sex because you're too good to be human, you're actually creating a really suppressed energy within you, and a really dark essence and energy, and you're easily more manipulated by the dark forces when you withdraw yourself, because some people be so scared of making some mistakes in their life. I'm not going to have sex with nobody. I think my time's running out. I'm not sure, but I'm going to hurry up. The people who withdraw themselves from being in the human physical experience because they're too good to have sex or anything, you're actually going against nature, okay? And those of you out here who are just fucking everybody and everything, that ain't good too. That's actually really bad, and that can cause you to be possessed by a lot of things. But alright guys, gotta go. Time's